The spiral is a sacred symbol. In a way, it's a different kind of form of the circle. And in its sort of movement, it does sort of, it can flow in towards the center and then out. It's almost like breath, or up and down. It has an expansiveness and then a flowing into the source. But I use this idea of spins within this circle of you. So think of this, the circle of you, it is like your breath, okay? So it goes full breath, full presence, compassionate, open, letting things move. So it is like this, and in that movement, it feeds, it gives life to the movements within it. And the main movements that cause us difficulty in life are emotional movements. Emotion is energy in motion, and they need to move. So in this, it's a sense of that within our circles there are these events, ongoing situations that in our effort to not have to experience them, they create these little spins within your circle that don't breathe. They stay stuck. The emotional energies are held in place by the mind, by beliefs, by tension in our bodies, by not giving it breath, by not giving it space. So imagine that this circle here is actually, I'm sitting right in the middle of one of those spins. And it's as if I've been swept up into it. Maybe it's I just found out that I had an illness and that it's life-threatening. Maybe somebody that I love or know. An illness has happened to them. Maybe I'm going to lose my job. So these are sort of big events. Maybe I'm going to lose my house. Maybe the person I love is going to leave me. So based on our history and a spin that we already have in the circle that's going to feed into this event, and how we deal with fear, anger, loss of control, it's going to determine whether it's just a painful movement or a lot of suffering. So in these spins in our circle that we didn't let move, when something happens in life, we lose the sense of the greater circle that we are, this greater presence. And we're swept up into this, and we fight it. So perhaps there are emotions of powerlessness and helplessness that we struggle and fight with. So it's as if we're swept into it and we stay in the middle of it and we think a lot. And there's emotions that want to descend all the way down into a surrender, so that then it can move all the way back up. And that spin then is released into the energy of the greater circle of you. But what we do is we stop it. We don't let it move all the way. Our fearful thinking is mostly about controlling the movement of any of the emotions that are connected with this story. This is like a story, okay? And in this story, There are things that challenge my ability to control. And in my ability to control is directly related to my feelings of power, powerlessness, and helplessness. So, the circle and you to be quiet, it can happen very subtly within you. Just this movement. And it could have been something that was there for an old soul story or from childhood. But if you use the events that happen in your life to help it to move, to make a different choice, are you going to let this own you and bring you into it, and you're going to fight it and hate it and try to get rid of it? So you're as if stuck in the center of this cyclone, fighting it, thinking a lot. Or are you going to choose to align yourself with the greater circle that this event is happening within, which is your own quiet, true presence that is a love and a spaciousness? And as you align yourself with that, you don't believe in the thinking that is generated from the spin and all your fighting. So in that refusal to believe it, if you're going to believe the victim or the warrior, in the refusal of that, you don't get involved with it. You let the emotions, like a breath, out and in. You let them flow, you let them move, no matter what they are, from rage to terror, from sadness to joy. And in that allowing them to move, the energy is freed. That's been a charge within this spin in your circle. So that as you go through life, it's not always sitting there waiting for something to happen, to cause you to react, to go into your thinking, to try to stop it, and to keep living this same story over and over and over again. So it's your resistance to a natural movement that keeps it stuck with a charge. It energizes it. It's very energized with suppressed emotion that you then keep bumping into and react to in different ways in life. So the whole idea of you as this circle, the circle is you in a big-hearted, open state. And to all these spins within your circle, however they manifest, as old stories, new stories, how you relate to this and let it complete its cycle. This determines the amount of freedom that you have, the amount of peace that you have, your freedom from suffering. But this circle that you are, you carry wherever you go, wherever you are. And in an odd sense too, you are everywhere. And it's the quiet. This can be very noisy as it's not allowed to move. It generates a lot of thinking. And then you wrestle with the mind thinking that that's the problem. But it's being driven by the charge the unmoved energy within this story that you keep fighting and resisting and allowing to own you. So in this movement of being in alignment with something greater than all your stories, the presence that's here when you're just quiet. You're cultivating the connection with that. And you're freeing yourself from all these old stories. Discover who we really are. And these events, they're just these things that happen in your circle. And they're not this that stays stuck. So indeed, the spiral is a sacred symbol in its movement. In its repressed movement, it can represent the prison of your story, a spin circle of the greater you that seems to determine who you are, how you live, how you feel. So enter these spins in your life as this compassion. Don't believe in your thinking. Liberate them. And in that you liberate yourself to this greater presence and circle that you are. That is peace. That is quiet. Soft day. Clouds. No airplanes. This quiet, it just reflects and echoes what's always within you. But all this noise gets in the way. If you hate the noise, keep it in the way. So just as the softness of this day, you are soft. Soft. You are the soft, quiet one. And a heart that was perhaps trapped in the spin, the energy of that heart, each time, it's like you reclaim that. You reclaim it. You reclaim it. And this love for yourself. Love